Ever come across a resume and it reads more like a, an adventure novel than just like a dry list of where you worked?
Right.
Well, buckle up, because today we are diving deep into the career journey of Dan J. Kalpe. And let me tell you, this is not your average resume.
Yeah. You know what immediately struck me is just the sheer variety, the breadth of experience that's covered in this resume. It's not just, that it's long, which it is, but also it kind of blends like a high-profile media production with this really dedicated community work, and it's not something you see every day.
Not at all. And we're talking, ADC Sports Super Bowls, even a stint working with Iggy Pop, and then boom, back to Copper Harbor, Michigan.
Yeah, talk about a turn. It's certainly not a straight line, is it? But there's a common thread that runs through it all when you look closely, and that's storytelling. Right.
Film school, documentary filmmaking, he even does script writing. That interest just keeps popping up.
It really does. And so let's get into some of these twists and turns, because, we're looking at roles here like a production manager assistant for some pretty major sporting events.
Right.
And that's a high-pressure gig, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the utility work, like out there cabling stadiums for Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
That's not just, sitting in an office.
No.
And then you top it off, he's doing video consulting for the Alan Parsons Project.
And that's where it gets even more interesting, because it's that jump, right, from those experiences and then back to Copper Harbor. Seems drastic, but it actually, I think, reflects a pretty common pattern, That allure of making it big, you go out, you do the thing, you get that experience, but then it leads you back to your roots with a new perspective.
Yeah,
right?
with this broader perspective. And I think a seriously enhanced skill set, which you can really see.
And you can see those skills, they translate directly over to the work that he does with the Copper Harbor Trails Club and even the Claiming Iggy documentary.
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. Project management, marketing, fundraising, media relations, those are all things that you hone in these high-pressure, very fast-paced environments. And he's bringing those skills to these projects that he's obviously super passionate about.
Yeah.
You look at the Kickstarter campaign, right? For Claiming Iggy, that was successful. That's not just luck. That's him understanding how to make things happen.
Entrepreneurial spirit, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think those high-pressure situations maybe made him a better advocate for some of these things that he cares about, like, wrangling camera crews for the Super Bowl? Did that give him the skills to navigate fundraising, lobbying, things like that?
I think that's a really interesting connection. I think you're right. That could absolutely translate, especially when you look at his involvement with the Trails Club.
Yeah.
This isn't just someone who likes to hike. He was instrumental in getting their 501c3 status, helped secure some major sponsorships, even went to Washington to lobby for funding for the Keweenaw Point Trail.
Wow.
That's dedication and a real understanding of how to navigate those systems.
Absolutely. And, that shows his dedication to his community runs deep. And I want to get into the Mariner North family business over 40 years. And he's worked in every position.
Wow.
That, to me, speaks volumes.
Yeah, that's not just a job at that point, it's a legacy.
Yeah.
It speaks to that commitment to Copper Harbor and to his family. And it just adds another layer to that whole, coming full circle thing.
And it's not just the Mariner North, right? His work with the Trails Club, that really highlights this intersection of skills. You were talking about navigating these complex systems. And his resume actually mentions he helped secure Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund grants for the Keweenaw Point Trail.
Oh, yeah. That's a big deal.
That's huge.
That's not easy to do.
No.
And it just shows, again, he's taking that experience, he's using it to benefit his community, and you can see those threads almost back to his production background, The logos, the stickers, the website, it's all about presenting a vision, telling a story, getting people invested.
It's like he took those Hollywood storytelling skills.
Exactly.
But instead of, pitching a TV show, he's pitching, his hometown, the outdoors, what he loves.
Yeah, and it shows you that passion can be a powerful motivator for success, even in kind of unexpected ways. And speaking of passion projects, like the volunteer firemen, there's no specific dates listed for that on the resume, which makes me think it's something that's ongoing, along with everything else that he's doing.
Right, and that kind of speaks to just his, tenacity, that he doesn't just give up on something.
Yeah.
You see that throughout his entire resume, right? You go through the ringer in network television, and then, running a family business for decades. That's not for the faint of heart.
No, it really speaks to, his own self-motivation. Like there's an inner compass there, right?
Yeah.
That's guiding him toward the things that matter to him, whether it's, capturing the essence of Iggy Pop on film or working to make sure that Copper Harbor is preserved and thriving.
It's amazing how, this one document, this resume, it gives you this glimpse into such a, I don't know, multifaceted person. It's more than just jobs and dates. It shows you what you can do if you're passionate and you apply yourself.
And it makes you wonder, what's next?
Right.
What's next for Dan J. Kelpie? What other challenges is he going to take on?
Right.
What other stories is he going to tell?
And that's what makes this deep dive so compelling, because you're left with that, like, what's next?
Totally, yeah. It's like we're just seeing one chapter
Yeah.
in a much bigger story, and I want to know what happens in the next one.
Exactly. And I think what makes this so relatable to you listening is that, it's not just about his specific career path. It's about your skills being useful in other places. It's about getting involved in your community and just going after something that you're passionate about, whatever that is.
100%.
It's funny when you think about it, right? Like, we think of resumes as these, like, really formal documents.
Yeah,
But it's like you said, it's like a narrative.
it is, yeah.
And it's got all these twists and turns.
Absolutely.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
One of the things that I thought was really interesting is how he took those, like, high-stakes TV production skills
Yeah.
and brought them back to his community.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that those would necessarily translate.
No.
But that's the thing about transferable skills.
Right.
Those years that he spent coordinating crews, troubleshooting technical issues, meeting those crazy deadlines,
Right.
and that builds resilience, right?
Yeah.
Adaptability, that knack for creative problem solving,
Yeah.
and those are valuable anywhere.
Totally.
Whether you're, producing a Super Bowl broadcast or you're trying to rally support for trails.
I wonder if it made him, like, a more effective, like, community leader,
Oh, interesting.
Because you think about, like, the camera crews
Right.
and dealing with those personalities in television.
It's a whole other world.
And then you have to go into this world of, okay, now I need to get some funding
Right.
from, local government.
Right.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's all connected, right?
Yeah.
It just shows you how those experiences, they ripple out and they can empower us in ways that we don't expect.
Yeah, absolutely. And so as we kind of wrap up this deep dive into, Dan's really interesting career, I think a big question for you listening is, what's that one skill?
Right?
What's that one experience you have that you can apply to something you care about?
Right.
Because I think his story shows us that, you can use what you've got, your talents and experiences to really make a difference.
It's never too late.
No.
Yeah.
And who knows what you might accomplish. Well, that's going to do it for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.